Welcome traders and investors. How are we doing today? Welcome to the first official Sunday Stock Talk live session where we are going to be talking about the stock market. Hope you guys enjoy. We're going to go over some good companies here that have potential upside for this week, Monday, the March 18th, 2024. So thank you for joining. Give me just a second to distribute a couple of links around and then we will get started. Thank you for spending part of your day here with us. And yeah, I'm super excited about the market. For Monday, we have a lot of potential buy opportunities on some great companies with upward momentum. So like I said, just give me 1 second here to spread a few of these links around to our groups. I do go live Monday mornings, every Monday morning right now for free. And I am setting up a community where you will have to join to watch me go live the other days of the week. So super excited about that. That is something that we are working on currently. But for right now, as a YouTube subscriber, you are able to watch this free live session on Monday morning tomorrow. So you could watch me trade live and see my thought process when entering and exiting trades. And you could also ask me questions and get involved as I trade. So I'll be going live Monday mornings at market open. So definitely subscribe so you don't miss out on when I do that. All right. Links are spread across. And also, if you guys are interested, there's a link below to join our private community of over 70,000 members on Facebook. And then that'll give you some other links like getting into the Discord where I show you my trade ideas. There's a link below for the Discord as well. I shout out my trade ideas every single morning, so you can definitely check that out as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over some companies here. Rivian Automotives. Now we have a subscriber called this out last week and was showing a huge sell-off potential right here. Now, as you can see, it has bounced off of this 10.05 and now around 10.57 mark. And as you can see here, it did bounce off at 10.57 recently. So it's almost like a triple bottom. Now it is showing some signs of an upward momentum, but again, as you can see here on the MACD, it is showing signs of oversold, and on the RSI, it's showing signs of oversold as well. So this may be a good buy opportunity for us this Monday. Now, as you can see, it had a huge upward momentum here, huge buying, and then it had some sell-off pressure right here. So if we look at the 1 hour, now this is after market, so there are a couple of doji star symbols here, and it is below the EMA and the SMA. So if we can potentially get back to the EMA, that's 1.88%, or to the SMA, that would be about a 5% return on your investment. Now that is still within the buy range area, and you can still see some potential breakouts of even upward of $13 or 23% return on your investment there. So definitely an opportunity to potentially buy. Okay, now remember, I will never tell you what to buy, hold, or sell. That's not what I do here, and I actually don't have any courses or anything for you to buy. I don't do that. This is just free information that anyone can obviously see if they're reading charts. I'm looking at the 1 hour chart here on YouTube, and again, I can't tell you what to buy, hold, or sell. I'm just showing you some potential opportunities that I may be trading on Monday. So Rivian Automotives, thank you for calling that out. That is somewhat of a potential. Now, as you can see, the EMA did cross the SMA, so that may show more sell-off pressure. So be very cautious with that one. Now, Lucid is a company we called out a few weeks ago, and we were able to basically ride this 2.5 up, and then we were able to ride it up again and make some good profits here. Now, I did call this out at the $3 mark, as well as the 310 mark for 20% profits last week. Now, it did get as high as 392, and it has been selling off ever since. Now, this has potential to sell off a little bit more, and as you can see, it has gone up slightly from the 260 area to where it is now at 270. So it's gone up about 4%, which was somewhat of a missed opportunity here, unless you are holding. Now, this has gone up as high as 310, 320, 390, like we called out in the previous weeks. Now, it is showing signs of upward momentum, but that doesn't mean that it's going to stay in an upward momentum range. As you can see here, it does have to still break the EMA line about 1%, and it needs to break the SMA line of about 12%. Okay, now if it can break through these highs, you can see a potential increase of around 25% as well. So there is some potential here. Not saying it will bounce back up, but there is potential moving into Monday, maybe even to make some short plays here. It may still bounce off the EMA, but if it goes past this EMA line and this critical resistance level now that we have from previous day, and it could break through it, then we may see some upward momentum there on Lucid, or ticker symbol LCID. JetBlue is another one that someone called out in the group. As you can see, it does have some upward momentum, and it does have some pullback history here. So if it does pull back again, as you can see, it bounced off of this SMA line, which is just great in my opinion. You want it to be above the SMA line. Now, it's not saying that there isn't potential for it to bounce back down. And let me showcase that to you. If it goes down to the SMA, it's about 2%. Down past this new support level, about 6%. With only about a 2 or 3% upside on previous resistance levels and about an 8% profit on previous resistance levels here. So that is a resistance level there. We are going to indicate that, okay? So there is a little bit of potential here. Doesn't mean it necessarily has to, but we are going to be watching JetBlue as Monday morning gets closer and closer. Now, Sound AI is one that we are also tracking. We have been watching it for the last couple of months, and as you can see, it's done nothing but go up. It is super high above the SMA line, and it's wanting to stay right along the line with the EMA line. Now, it has crossed over so many of these support levels, it's not even funny. I mean, look at all these new highs it's creating. So we are going to want to kind of wait and see what this does on Monday. Now, there is some potentially good news about Sound AI. They are saying that there is a potential for it to go up due to a recent either merger or acquisition by NVIDIA. NVIDIA has some hype that it may be acquiring Sound AI, which would be great, which would be a great thing for Sound if that is the case. So we will find out tomorrow on Monday exactly what NVIDIA has planned and in store for Sound AI. Now, guys, this looks like a year chart, but it's not, okay? This was on the 12th. This was on March 12th. It went up 13% in a single day, okay? And then the very next day, on the 13th, it went up 36%, okay, guys? So for everyone in our group here, in our Investing for Beginners community that caught that play on the 13th, congratulations. You guys were able to make some good money. Now, unfortunately, that was not anything to stay super excited about, because the very next day it dropped 22%. Now, for anyone out there that was bag holding or waiting for this company to go up, you would have lost almost all of your profits or gains overnight if you were to hold. That's why I don't necessarily like holding companies overnight when I day trade. Now, I am a long-term investor. I do have a long-term investment account that I do have long-term, but I also like to make those day and swing trade profits as well. Okay, so Sound does have a potential to go up even more. It looks like it did break through this previous resistance, which makes a new support. Now, if this is a new support level, we will find out and see what exactly it does. Okay, we're going to get rid of that one. There's some strong support right here and right here. Okay, so with that, Sound does have a potential, obviously, of always going down. About 6%, 5% if it bounces off the EMA, and 26% if it goes all the way down the SMA. Now, it does have the potential to go up about 20% from previous resistant levels or previous highs, about 20% here. Okay, guys, so that's pretty good. And it has a potential to go up even more than that. It has a potential to go up exponentially, and it could even double or triple if NVIDIA takes over or acquires them. So Sound AI is something we'll be looking at on Monday as well. We also have SoFi. Now, SoFi is a company that we've been watching for quite some time too. As you can see here, we were able to trade it on these couple of days, about a 6% return that single day, and about a 5% return that day. Now, if you were holding, you would have lost a significant amount of your portfolio, almost 22% in a matter of one day. If you were to hold this overnight, you would have lost 22% of your position. That's another reason why I don't recommend holding these positions overnight as a beginner. You get in, you get out, and that's it. Now, if you want to hold SoFi long term because you believe it's a great investment in the future, then a lot of this in this video isn't going to help you. The only thing this video will help a long-term investor is maybe identifying potential areas to average down or have a buy opportunity to enter a trade, or like I said, to average down and get a lower average cost per share. All right, so SoFi, what can we say about SoFi? Well, they are below their EMA. Okay, I love companies that are oversold and undervalued. Look at this on the MACD, okay, and as well as the RSI. They're in the 35 range. So we did find a support here on Friday, and it looks like it's staying within the support levels now over the weekend, which is just fantastic for us. So with a very small downside of about a half up a point. Now it can obviously go down more, but as we're seeing the support level here, it's only about a half a point. If you can get up to the EMA, that's 2%, or get as high as the SMA is, that is roughly 11% on your investment. Okay, now it doesn't mean it's going to happen. If, in my opinion, it may bounce off of this EMA, so about 2%, and then bounce back it down. If it can get past the EMA and the support line and create, or a resistance level, and create a new support, then we're going to be okay on Monday and may consider trading this company. Okay, next we talked about Rivian. I started with Rivian because it just really looks like a good potential here. Same with SoFi. I love oversold companies that are going to have a nice reversal. Reversals are like my key here when investing and finding opportunities to buy. As you can see, that's about 2% if it bounces off the EMA, or about almost 6% if it bounces off the SMA. Okay, and it doesn't have to stop there. We can see highs as high as 24% profit, as high as $13 if that's the case. Okay, so Hood, how about Hood, or HOOD, Robinhood Markets? Now, Robinhood Markets has had an incredible upward trend over the last over the last month or so. As you can see, it's had a high of 80% ROI if you were able to invest back in February. You could have seen that high. Now, as you can see, it's trailing right along with the EMA line, which is just fantastic for us because it's showing that it likes to be very close to the EMA line, trailing above the SMA line, which is also a good indication. Now, what can we say about it right now, this moment? Well, it's still above the EMA and it's super above the SMA. It's cleared a bunch of support levels and it had this nice little pullback here. It went from 1948 all the way down to 17 and some change, 1730, which is about a 10% decrease from its previous highs. Now it looks like it's trying to basically go back up and follow along with the EMA. So if that is the case, then there is a potential of about a 10% profit if it goes up to previous highs, or about a 7% profit if it goes up. So about a 7% profit right here if it goes up to previous highs of 1947. So that might potentially be a great trade as well. Now, it doesn't look like it's going to go down very much, about half a point to the EMA and potentially 6% to the SMA. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. We don't know, but we are going to find out on Monday. And if we see a good opportunity to buy and it's showing upward momentum, then we will also trade this as well. And it also has the potential to go up even higher than $19. Okay, guys, so just remember that as well. Mara, all you Mara lovers out there, guys, we've been tracking and trailing Mara for quite some time. I've been watching it since this previous dip right here. And if you guys didn't get in back in February when it made its rally, let me bring this over a little bit, you would have missed out on 80% return on your investment, okay? And then it trailed back down 25%, which gave us another opportunity to buy. Another 50% profit, guys, 50% profit. And we're talking within a matter of a few days. This one was 5 days and the last one was about 8 days. 80% and 50% profit, okay? So if you guys miss those runs, then, you know, there's always opportunities for more runs. And then if you held, you lost 50% of your portfolio. This is why it's important for new investors to understand why it's not always the best thing to hold on to companies like this long term. If you want to hold on to companies long term, go watch some of my other videos on investing long term, ETFs, dividends, stuff like that, to really showcase the power of investing long term. But right now we're talking about day trading and swing trading, and look at the potential here, guys. I traded this on the 8th of March and it went up 14%. We were able to lock in 10% of that on our channel, which was just fantastic. That was over $150 in less than 30 minutes. Okay, which is great, you know. And $150 might not sound a lot like sound like a lot to you, or it may be a lot, but either way, that is what we did on that day. Now, for anyone who held onto that position, would have lost 17%, and they would actually be negative about 2% if they held overnight. Now, we are showing signs of a support level here at 1708, about 1710, and it has been kind of holding true to that and bouncing off. Now, if you were to buy at that low of 17 and you are holding on to it or were able to trade it on Friday, you would have been able to lock in another 15% on your investment. Now, don't worry, guys, don't get FOMO or fear of missing out, because there is potential for this company to go back up to its previous highs. Now, this is a Bitcoin or a cryptocurrency, basically digital holding company, okay? So with cryptocurrency going up, this has the potential to go up as well. Now, it's already at the EMA line, which is just great. It's just hit above the EMA line, which should indicate a strong upward momentum. Now, it has had a little bit of pushback, as you can see here. Just a slight resistance on the EMA line, which is okay. We want the EMA line to go up with the share price. And that is what it exactly looks like it's doing. The super trend is showing that there is a buy signal set in place. And if we go here, as you can see, if it gets up to the SMA, that is 16% on the SMA alone. if you are able to get up to previous highs where it was recently, that is a 70%, 75% return on your investment. So if you were to invest $1,000, you would make $750, which would put you a total of $1,750 off of that $1,000 investment. So Mara is one of those companies where I know there's some extreme potential money to be made, and I'm super excited to trade this one potentially on Monday. Super excited, guys, to be able to trade this one. So we will see what happens with this one. Okay, next, Palantir. This one is interesting. It's kind of been sticking along the lines of where it is. It's kind of finding its own little zone right now of where to be. It is above the SMA line, and it is kind of staying along with the EMA line. Now, it has dropped below that EMA line. Okay, it is now trading below the blue line or the EMA line, which shows an indication of a downward trend. Now, it did cross over. It did cross over and has been in a downward trend ever since. Now, Palantir is not something that I would probably trade at the moment. It looks like they have some support right here, so we are going to just support line that. And we're going to wait and see exactly what happens. Okay, it looks like we had some selling pressure right here. Some selling pressure, as well as here and here. Okay, so there is plenty of opportunity for this company to rebound and go back up to previous highs and previous resistance levels. Okay, doesn't mean it will, but there is an opportunity. So with that, let's go ahead and draw out our potential. As you can see here, it has bounced off this 2340 mark, 2340 mark, and now it's bouncing off again at 2340. So it really likes to be around the 2340 as an acting support, where sellers are kind of stop selling and buyers start buying. And with that said, we have a potential of going up to about 3% if it goes to the EMA and bounces off. And we have a potential of going up to about 6% if it touches the SMA. Now, it doesn't mean it has to, but it even has highs of even 17% on its previous high records if it does go up that high. So this is definitely a company that we're going to be watching tomorrow as well to kind of see what is going to be going on and what direction this company is going to be taking. Now, with that said, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 companies that I will be watching over the course of the next week. Now, I do also trade the Qs. So real quick, let's go over the triple Qs. As you can see, there is a huge potential for it to go up here. And how are we going to trade the Qs if it's $432? Well, we're going to trade it off of T triple Q. T triple Q is only about $57. So that's a lot better of an entry point to get in. And as you can see here, it has a tendency to just keep bouncing. A low, a high, a low, a high, a low, a high. And now we are finally in the low area. So if it goes up to the EMA line and bounces off, that's roughly about 2%. If it goes up to the SMA, that's 5%. And if it were able to go up to previous highs, which I do believe it can, then that's a potential of a 10% profit on your investment. So 10% is not anything close to 70 or 80% like some of the other companies, but this could potentially be a little bit safer because it is more of an ETF than an actual single stock like Lucid or Mara. Now, as you can see, SQ has found that resistance, and as you know, SQ is the inverse of TQQQ. So SQQ is finding some resistance here at that $10.86 mark right now, or $11, I'm sorry, $11 mark, 11.45 mark, okay. Right now it's at 11.36, so that is showing some signs of potential reversal to the downside, right? And that's how we're going to play TQQ. So technically that would make stock number 9 and then stock number 10. Now there are only about 10 stocks or ETFs or companies, whatever you want to call them. There's only 10 of them that I focus on every single week. So if you like that kind of stuff and you want to get more involved with these 10 specific companies and how to trade them, make money off of them over and over and over again as it goes new lows, new highs, to back to low, back to high, then you're definitely going to want to subscribe. Watch my live trading sessions where I showcase to you exactly my thought process on everything we are doing here. So as you can see, JNUG is right in this little area of buy and resistance. We're going to create a polyline here. As you can see, it went up and cleared here, went down, went back up, went back down, went back up, went back down, and now it's trying to find something. What is it going to do? It could either go down or it can go up. Okay, so that is where we are, and if it does bounce off the EMA, that's only about a 1% bounce for roughly a 2 to 3% gain. So I may wait, which I'm going to do. I'll be waiting for it to bounce back a little bit more. If it can come down to previous resistance or support levels of 29, that's about a 3% decrease. Then you can see that it goes up to roughly about 5 or 6% on the bounce, which could create an opportunity to buy. So we're going to wait and see what happens as the market opens tomorrow, what direction it takes, and what exactly will happen when it does make that direction. Just like with JDST, it can just continue to sell off. And if this continues to sell off, then JNUG will continue to move up. Now, if JDST for some reason gets bad news, and then this will continue, this will rise, which could be a potential buy area as well. Now, some previous highs for more recent news would be roughly about right here. And that would give us about a, let me get it real quick, a potential loss of say 1 to even 3%. And if it hits the EMA, a 1% gain on that. If it gets back up to its previous resistance levels, about 5%, and potentially if it could ever get back up to its SMA, about 14%. So I don't believe it'll get back up to the SMA, but I do believe it may be able to get up to a previous resistance level of about 580 or so. I feel like that would be a good resistance level for it to bounce if it does. Okay, so those are the 10 companies that I am currently watching and trading actively in the market. Now, the ones that are a little bit more interesting that you guys might consider, Apple, Tesla, AMD, and SPY. We can go over those just roughly for a second here. As you can see, Apple is on a downward trend. Looks like it's trying to show some signs of an upward momentum, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to. So with that said, it did just pass back over the EMA line, which is a great news. That can show signs of an upward momentum. If it can pass the SMA line, then we'd have a good indication of upward momentum and can see a potential return on investment of about 15%. 15% on Apple. Okay, Tesla is showing also signs of support at 160-ish, 160, 162.5, okay, with a nice downward trend. So if this does start showing signs of reversal, like it's showing on the MACD, hopefully on the RSI, then we can see some good potential returns of 1% to the EMA, 10% to the SMA, and guys, look at this. If it can get back up to where it was trading before, you can see upwards of 60% return on your investment from previous highs. Okay, so it's not unheard of that this company could go back up. Might not take a day, might take a few weeks or a few months, but there's definitely the potential, right? Okay, AMD, look at AMD now. They had a huge upward momentum here, 20%, even as high as 30% upward momentum, return on your investment, and then just had a nasty pullback all the way down, 18%. So you would have lost quite a bit on your investment if you were still holding. Now, as you can see here, the SMA and the EMA did cross over, which showing a strong sign of a downward trend. Now, on Friday, it had this nice green ticker on AMD, up about 4 or 5% for the day, which was just fantastic. And with that said, it's just now wanting to pass the EMA line. Now, if it passes the EMA line, as the super trend is displaying an upward trend as well, or a buy signal, then there might be an indication for it to move up to previous support level, resistance levels, or the SMA line, which is about 4%. Okay, guys, so that could be a good potential buy on Monday as well. It could even go as high as its previous highs, around 20%, if it does get up to those highs, which is just insane to me. So we will definitely be watching this company as well. And SPY, last but not least, look what SPY is doing. I had to show this last because it's just interesting what it's doing, okay? Every time it hits SMA, it bounces up about, I think, what was that, 5%? 3%, okay? So every time it hits the SMA, 3% bounce. SMA, 3% bounce. SMA, 3% bounce. So every time it hits this SMA line, boom, you could see about a 3% recovery. And this is what we want to see here. Now, it is tracking just below the SMA line right now, which is showing signs of a sell-off, but the MACD is now showing a little sign of recovery, possible reversal, as well as the RSI. If we can see some signs of reversal leading into tomorrow morning, then we may have a opportunity to buy here. Okay, if it hits its SMA, it's about a 0.5 point, EMA 0.5 point, but if it can get to previous highs, that's 1.5. And if you can get up to even as high as even as high as 3%, then you can see that it would be roughly around here, about right here, which is 523. So there is an opportunity for the market to bounce. If it's going to bounce, this would be a good indication that it is going to do that. Okay, this does track the S&P 500. So with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed my live stream. It looks like we got some more people coming in, but I have actually we have actually reviewed all the companies that we needed to review. And with that said, that's pretty much it for today's live stream, guys. It looks like we're at 32 minutes now. If this is your first time joining or finding my channel, subscribe so you don't miss out when I live stream Monday mornings. I do live stream every Monday morning for free. You guys can watch and join. All you have to do is be basically just a subscriber of the YouTube channel. Moving forward, I will probably start doing live streams Tuesday through Friday, and you will potentially have to be a member of the YouTube channel in order to watch those live streams daily. But for now, we got some free ones for you that you can join and get involved, watch me trade, get in positions and out of positions, and ask me questions as I trade live in the market. So guys, that's going to happen tomorrow, Monday, March 18th. Market open, that's about 7 o'clock my time. But again, whenever the stock market opens in your area is when you'll be able to join me live. So for now, go watch some other useful videos to get you on track for tomorrow's trading sessions. I have some very useful videos that help you learn how to trade, how to swing trade. And if you're not into that kind of stuff, you're just here to invest and throw some money in the market, I have a ton of videos and playlists on how you can make dividends every quarter and even every month by investing in really simple companies. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your time. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow in the live trading session.